Suddenly, the system alerted him that the real mission was beginning now, and he had to endure as long as possible while waves of enemies kept coming endlessly. Several portals appeared out of nowhere, unleashing knights and wizards who summoned more of their kind. Goku clenched his fists at the sight of so many enemies, ready to take them all down seriously. With a powerful surge of energy and aura, he quickly obliterated almost all the knights and wizards in the area, reducing them to dust instantly. Yet, more of them kept appearing, but Goku didn't mind. He continued defeating each one that came his way, hour after hour. He spent the following hours demolishing knights and wizards without leaving any survivors. After defeating them all, Goku returned to his base state, and the system notified him that he had completed the mission. It offered him the option to accept a new class known as necromancer, a hidden class according to the system. I don't really know much about these classes, but I guess I can't progress without accepting it. Besides, I'd really like to leave this place now. Without much thought, Goku accepted the class change. Suddenly, a dark aura surrounded him as he gained new abilities and leveled up significantly from eliminating so many enemies. The system bestowed upon him the title of King of Shadows. This seemed a bit odd to Goku, as the dark aura made him appear somewhat malevolent. It's not really my style, but I suppose I'll have to get used to it. After saying that, Goku began to hear what seemed like lamenting voices emanating from the remains of the defeated knights. The system informed Goku that he could now use an ability to extract shadows from defeated enemies by typing the word he wanted to invoke the ability with. Goku thought for a moment, wanting to keep it simple. Alright, to keep it simple, I'll invoke this ability with the word Arise. After typing the word, the ability was registered with that name. Shadows from the fallen knights began to awaken and approach Goku, now following his commands. Initially unsure about having obedient shadows, Goku considered how they might be useful in the future. Knowing that defeated enemies could return as shadows, he looked towards the body of Igris among the debris. Goku thought he might be able to bring him back as one of his shadow warriors, so he approached to attempt it immediately. Arise! It seemed that Igris' shadow was about to be extracted, but initially, it resisted as it remained loyal to its duty of defending the empty throne. The system warned Goku that he had only 3 attempts to extract someone's shadow, having already used one. Determined, Goku persisted, knowing Igris was a formidable fighter. You fulfilled your duty here. Perhaps you could use your great skill to keep fighting instead of staying here. As Goku spoke, he tried again to extract Igris' shadow, which seemed more willing this time, convinced by Goku's words. This time, I promise it will be different. You might even become stronger. Finally, Goku acquired the shadow of the Crimson Knight, now the new commander of his shadow army, known as Igris. The system did something unusual with Igris' shadow, reflecting Goku's power within it, much to Goku's surprise. Afterward, all the Shadow Knights kneeled before Goku, now awaiting the commands of the King of Shadows. Goku had finally cleared the class change dungeon, gaining new powers and becoming the new King of Shadows. Having completed the trial, the dungeon portal closed, returning him outside. Now, he had at his disposal several Shadow Soldiers, with Igris being the most powerful among them. However, the system had done something peculiar by allowing Igris to share Goku's power, making him equally formidable, a fact Goku noticed from the energy and the system's categorization. Can he really match my strength? I have to test this. Goku ordered Igris to engage in a brief sparring match to verify the system's claim. They assumed combat stances and exchanged powerful blows, causing a significant impact with their fist clash. Goku held nothing back, wanting to truly gauge their power. After the exchange, Goku realized that Igris had indeed withstood his punch, just as he had weathered Igris' attack. This revelation amazed him, knowing Igris could now unleash his full potential as a warrior and train alongside him. After their short bout, Goku dismissed the Shadow Soldiers since he didn't need them at the moment, now that the dungeon was over. I better head home. Feels like I've been away for too long, even though time flows differently in those dungeons. With that, Goku quickly flew away to return to his home on Mount Paozu, Upon arrival, he noticed the presence of his friends inside. Gohan was there with Vegeta, Piccolo, Krillin, Tien, Yamcha, and others like Bulma and Chi-Chi, gathered meeting to discuss the emergence of several portals. Finally decided to show up, Kakarot. You're always late, Goku. Can someone tell me why everyone's gathered here? Seriously? Haven't you noticed the portals popping up near the cities? Well, but you don't need to raise your voice so much. I've also taken care of dealing with those portals. That's not the point, Kakarot, since we've all been taking care of making those things disappear. Vegeta is right. We are here to find out if these portals have any origin, since we are not sure that they can appear more, which could be dangerous for the inhabitants of Earth. I already explained to them what you told me about the system that only you can see. That's why we wanted to know if you have noticed anything useful to stop this. Hearing that, Goku paused to think about the situation, but he couldn't come to a conclusion because he didn't know much about why those portals had appeared either. Meanwhile, Vegeta seemed somewhat annoyed, as Goku always seemed to have something as peculiar as that system Piccolo had mentioned. I understand what you're saying, but there's not much I can say about the portals. At this point, Goku would remember the first dungeon he had entered, so he decided to ask his friend something. If it's true that you all have also faced different portals, can you tell me if you have seen any dungeons with giant stone statues? All the Z-Warriors made a confused face when they heard Goku's question, as they hadn't seen anything like that when going through the dungeons. Not really, there were only strange creatures, nothing like what you described. Same here, I didn't come across any statues either. Little by little, each of the Z-Warriors answered negatively to Goku's question, indicating that he was the only one who had been lucky enough to come across such a peculiar place. Due to the answers of the others, Piccolo began to shuffle different conclusions, as this data could be crucial to understand what was going on. So only Goku has seen that place. It could be the origin of those portals. So, should we keep looking inside each portal? I don't think so. We've visited many and haven't seen anything like that. I think the most reasonable thing would be for Dad to accompany us. Maybe he's the only one who can access that place, or at least find something useful. Gohan's proposal makes sense to me. Goku often runs into this kind of thing, so something might come up when he enters one of these portals. What they were saying made a lot of sense to Goku, so he wouldn't refuse their participation in the dungeons with him. Alright then, we'll go out at the next portal that comes up. Then you'll need this to locate the portals more easily. At that moment, Bulma brought out a radar similar to the one used to locate the Dragon Balls. Only this one was specifically designed to show the direction of the portals whenever they appeared. This surprised Goku, as he didn't expect Bulma to create something like this in just a couple of days. Did you really manage to make a portal radar in such a short time? It wasn't that complicated. Portals emit a special frequency that allows them to be detected. You know what I'm like. Bulma said this cheerfully, proud of herself and her intelligence. The rest of the Z-Warriors agreed, so while they waited, they took the opportunity to rest and prepare for the battle ahead. The truth was that they had all noticed that Goku sounded smarter than usual during that conversation, probably because his intelligence stat had increased as he leveled up. Although they didn't think much of it for the moment, they needed to focus on their upcoming battle. The next day, they immediately set out to locate the next portal, which appeared right away on the radar Bulma had provided them. They quickly flew to its location. Upon arrival, they noticed that this portal looked different. While all the previous ones had been shades of blue and dark, this one was red, with several lightning bolts swirling around it. I've never seen one like this before. Have you? Never. This is the first time. Never mind. Let's not waste time. Let's take care of whatever's in there. Although the portals have been easy for us so far, we shouldn't take it lightly. Right. We still don't know what might be inside. We've only seen part of it. Fine. Let's do it your way if you're so insistent. After their brief discussion, they entered the red portal to begin their mission. Inside, they found themselves in a snowy expanse, much larger than the cave-like dungeons they had encountered before. It seemed strange to the others, but they thought nothing of it. However, Vegeta soon noticed energies approaching. Prepare yourselves. Something is approaching. Everyone turned their attention to the approaching figures, which turned out to be a pack of large, ferocious bears. Although these enemies did not seem threatening to the warriors, they remained alert. Looks like they're just ordinary beasts. Alright then, leave this to me. Some meat for cooking wouldn't hurt. With that said, Vegeta quickly surrounded his hand with red energy, a new ability he had awakened after encountering the portals. Goku was surprised to see this, unaware that Vegeta had also gained new powers. Vegeta, you mean to tell me that you've gained powers too? That's right, Kakarot. You're not the only one who has obtained more strength, and now I'll show you what I'm capable of. After having said that, Vegeta simply punched the air and would release a large figure of his own fist, which would in an instant finish off all the giant bears that were in front of him. But the impact had been so powerful that it had completely pulverized them, so there was nothing left of them. I think you went a little overboard with them. Too bad. They're all still as weak as in the other portals. Apparently so, but even so, that place is still quite large unlike the others. It will be better to find the strongest of them all. After having used his ability, Vegeta was a little curious as to what kind of powers Goku had acquired, since he was sure that they had different powers, since they had always been like that. Tell me the truth, Kakaroto. Did the system give you something special? Now that you mention it, yes. I don't think I've shown it to you, so take a look for yourselves. At that instant, Goku was enveloped in a dark aura as he was summoning the various shadow soldiers he had, Igris being the most prominent among them all. Everyone would immediately notice that Igris possessed strength equal to Goku, which left them shocked. Although because of that, everyone became alert, as they didn't know if this knight was on their side.